We've hit a few bumps.
What kind of bumps? Okay, let me rephrase it. Are the bumps in the physical?
No. It's more like actual bumps in the mandala.
Do you know where the bumps are?
Not exactly. That's why we're trying to figure it out. Because when the fire thing went over, there were waves in the fire, and there shouldn't have been.
So there was something that was going around.
Yes.
That means that if there's waves, there's something going around over. There are some places that have hidden places.
Yes, and we're trying to get into them.
Can you clearly identify where they are?
The fire waves clearly identified and showed where they were.
Are there any in or near the universe of the souls?
No, actually.
Are there any in or near the realm where the Whispering Ones were at?
No.
Are there any in or near the angelic realm?
Maybe one or two. But there's a big concentration towards the edge of the mandala.
Give me a moment, please.
And they're very large, too.
Oh my. Okay, hold on, just a minute.
They're the size of half the universes. So
Okay. Don't worry. I think I'm getting something. Just hold a moment. Okay. I'm calling them the hidden ones. That's what came to me. These are the hidden ones.
Oh. Are they negative? Or are they positive?
I get them. Okay, this is what I get. They're not. I don't get that they're negative, but hold on a moment, please.
That these were places. Okay, I'm starting to see into them a bit. These were places for safety. In the early, when things were starting to go wrong, they built these little strongholds to,
No, there's someone living in here. Let me see. Existence, they're not.
There's things there are people still in there.
Yes. Wait a minute. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. I get that. There are angels in the hidden places. There are guides in the hidden places. There are some from the divine are in the hidden places. It wasn't necessarily done directly to them. They didn't directly choose this to occur. It was more like they didn't choose to this. They didn't go here on purpose. Purpose. What I'm getting that these are places that. Okay, something's that along this line. This is very. That the ones who were taken out by the Whispering Ones, when they were removed from existence, there was like a bit of a domino effect. It was like the Whispering Ones did not take these ones out directly, but because they took out these other ones, these ones sort of they disappeared after.
Okay. Sort of if you go back in time and take out the parent, the kids and the grandkids don't exist.
Yes. It's sort of like somehow the ones that were taken out they were instrumental in these ones being, and then when they were taken out, these ones not instantaneously disappeared, but it's sort of like they sort of disappeared.
Sort of Back to the Future.
Yes, sort of the Back to the Future type of disappeared. But these other ones have returned now. This is sort of like getting precursor of them coming back.
Okay.
Like, we remember how I knew ahead of time, sometimes several days ahead of time, that before ones were returning. If these ones, Emana na kiata tena hota na makala hora ndi tibehena ka ena na moa tena hekiate ena he toa na he anana e moene embota dana kiata na te. Remember how the originator, as I call him, the origin said that all that is divine would return.
Yes.
The path that we are, I'm not going to say on yet, the way we are leaning, it is possible, we use that. There is a possibility emerging in that which is coming together, that these ones will also return into the mandala. It's not said as definite yet. It depends greatly on okay, as long as I'm going to call them the receptacles that the anti-divinity can grow in, exist. These ones cannot return. Because as long as anti-divinity grows like rot,
yes,
and if there's just some that are rotted, the rot will send out, as we know now, we call them spores or seeds, to send them out, and then they will continue to cause rot. You have to be a complete removal. As long as these ones, the receptacles still exist, and rot can come in, and the anti-divinity can come in, there is the possibility that this creation can still come down, because there is a tiredness that has set in of taking them out. Part of it is because everyone is not as determined, excited that this must happen in this way. See, okay, let me explain. Okay, I'm seeing it again. I'm going to say many of you, most of you exist in the spirit side, and you see things from the spirit direction. So from the spirit side, something can look completely different than the way it looks in the physical.
Yes.
Completely different. We're experiencing the same thing completely differently.
Yes.
So because you guys are and have always seen things from that perspective, you see things as being in a certain place, at a certain bit of accomplishment. And the pressure that I have been putting forward, that no, you have to look at it from the physical, and the physical must be there first, and needs to be totally clean, and from that outside perspective, it doesn't look as bad as I'm saying that it is. The situation doesn't seem as bad as I'm saying it is. You're saying there's a sentiment that does exist. It's a very low sentiment, but it does exist No, it's a moderate. It's not even low. It's a moderate sentiment that we've already accomplished enough, and that the physical will be okay, and that everything will be. It's not. We don't have to keep pushing really hard. We can slow down a little bit, and if that takes hold, that idea takes hold, and the vision that comes from the spiritual becomes the one everybody relies on because that is the vision they have, then it is still an eventuality that the anti-divinity will come back stronger. And if this physical goes down to anti-divinity, then everything will go down. That's just it. If the physical goes down because of anti-divinity, everything will go down. And these ones cannot come back until this is taken care of. The physical must be completely cleared. When the physical is completely cleared of the anti-divinity, then the rest of the mandala will return, and then when as the origin said, all that is divine will come back. It will. You don't know what it is you are missing yet. You don't know. You think, oh, look how all the changes that have happened, look how much this, and you're still adjusting. There are some that are still a little uncomfortable with the ones that have come back. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Some just need more time to adjust to things.
Okay.
But there is a bit of a Okay, let me see if I can explain this. And I would like for those in places or realms that are strongly spiritual, that do not have any direct physical contact, or those who have had dramatic changes by what new ones that have come in. These two places in particular need to listen to this. And I want you to look at the experience that has been had by the extension there, like a movie story. Okay?
I got it.
Okay. And you can also look to other ones in humanity and other souls that have had a similar type of... Look through the Akashic records and find other stories of this particular problem. This is not a new problem, but it's new for you.
Yes.
If you've been in a place where it is not a good place, it is not a positive place, but it is the only place you've known, while you were living in it, or a child that grows up in an abusive family, there will be some elements that you have created that are somehow moments of joy or better things that you feel that were positive and you liked. It could be like what she called her oyster stew, or watching the Carol Burnett show. Things that she could say were good things or happy things that she found she was able to create even in these very dark situations. She liked sometimes putting together really fanciful, outlandish outfits that were very dressy up. Or, I'm a vegetarian and I can't stand I can't read the idea of eating another living, what it used to be a living being, killing a living being and eating is repulsive to me. But there is a nostalgia to the idea of eating oyster stew. And that nostalgia of the good places or the happy places you created when things weren't quite right. Once you get you're into this other change and you move into another space, and those things aren't the same anymore. And nostalgia can grow for elements that were there before. The elements that you created in your divinity as to how to find enjoyment in where you were. It is good to put this into a perspective. A perspective is that Because of your own divinity, you were able to create divinity even when the Whispering Ones and Anunnaki were creating lots of pain and suffering. You were still able to find light and bright. And you should be happy about that. But understand that the reason you had to do that is because you were in such a bad place. That's why those pockets existed. Those pockets of trying to create things that you could find really a lot of enjoyment in were you created because it wasn't quite right. Right now, we are in the interim. We are neither there, nor are we in the full, clear, clean movement of divinity. And so, all we can see right now is what we've lost. You cannot see nor imagine what is to come and what it's going to feel like because you can't even remember the feelings because the Whispering Ones have been playing wonky with your time. Remember, they went back and removed the one who sees from very, very long ago. And many of the divine ones, they removed them when they were right after they were created so that they were quote unquote babies. So those are the ones of the divine that were removed from that point. So your memories and your ideas are always from something when it was not is at its fullest potential, at its fullest bright and goodness. Those things can be cleared up, and they were working toward clearing them up. But you're caught in a little bit of the nostalgia for what you remember. Also look to that movie. Let me go to that Back to the Future. In the Back to the Future world. Right now, we are in the Back to the Future world. But I am the one that's saying there was a different future. This does not have to be the way it is. This one is seriously messed up. There were still people who in the Back to the Future, they were living their lives. There were elements of things that they liked about their lives. And they found as joyful or fun or whatever. But it was not the best possible outcome. So he had to go back and fix what had gotten messed up. When he went back and fixed what had gotten messed up, and then he returned after it was fixed, it was nothing at all like the second Back to the Future world. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. It was not the same world at all. But I see where you're at right now is you're caught between the two. And you see that the movies and the hotels and the things, you still see them and remember them, and you don't know what's right around the bend. So all you can remember are things that you're losing, not things that you're gaining. And because of that, there's a little bit of, can't we just stop here and build from here and keep some of the stuff that we know we like? That is where there's a little bit of that holding on going on. These ones that are lost, you've now been alerted to the fact that there was a reaction says that it's impossible. I have not felt them clearly yet. I have not. So they're not to that point of the coalescing. But there is a desire of returning all things that were divine and lost and getting this fixed. I am afraid you're at this point where you're going to have to let go of the places and the memories you are at because there's a better future for everyone coming. You know that it's coming because ones that were already lost have already started to return. You know that's what's going on. And maybe there's anxiety, but where will I fit in when all these new ones come back? When divinity is all in balance, it's all much, much better. Just as at the end of Back to the Future 2, it was all much, much better. There was better than all of the future, all their past that had occurred. They all improved. All of their situations became better. When you think of these great spaces that are yet not returned, I want you to think, what if you were the one that in your divinity was erased? Wouldn't you want to come back to divinity? When they come back, you may find it's a very close companion, a best friend, a favorite song, a favorite experience. It's been gone and you didn't even remember it was gone, but when it comes back, it may be your favorite thing ever. It may be the thing that sometimes you get a whisper hint of that you wish about, and that's because it was that calling out to you because it wants to come back. I am afraid you're in that awkward place where you can't see clearly ahead, and you're sort of having some nostalgia for what has gone. And you think, haven't we gone far enough? Can't we just stay here for a little while? It does not work like that. You cannot stay here. If you stay here with the nostalgia, you can only go back to where we were, and then everything you've done is for nothing. There is only continuing and on this path. And the quicker you get it done, the quicker everything else is aligned and better. If you drag your feet, the anti-divinity will return. And you may be the one that disappears next. That is what these places are. I get it repeatedly. That is what these places are. You must quickly, before they send out more spores and create more anti-divinity beings, you have to take out all of the ones in the physical. All of the receptacles, you have to take them out. I know you're tired of hearing it. You're saying we're doing it. But there's some hesitancy. There's not the urgency that I am speaking, is there? You do not understand it because you were so, how is that thing? You were so misled, misguided, foggy-headed that you do not realize how soon it was before God was going to be taken out. And the whispering ones, do you not remember how much of God and the Great Father and the Great Mother were already lost? Wait a second, did you already forget this? But it just happened. How could you have just forgotten that? Hold on a minute, please. You are still holding back.
I don't really have an answer I can process right now.
Do you know why you did it?
Yes.
Has it led to the best outcome?
No.
Then why are you not listening to me? You also are caught up in a bit of this. The nostalgia brain. There is a reason why you are not acting. And you cannot stay in this place or just slowly move and it will get better. You are integrally tied to creation. And creation is integrally tied to you. You will not be truly fully you're doing your best until everything, including all of the physical, is truly doing its best. These large parts that are missing in creation are large parts that are missing in you. You cannot get them back until you get rid of the anti-divinity and everything that creates the anti-divinity. I know that I am insistent, but I am not insistent for my own personal benefit or because I want to accomplish something. Because I am seeing the paths before you and how things play out. The ones who could be coming back, these are ones that will make you laugh, enjoy, and sing, and make things wonderful. The path, the way in which you are doing it is making everybody tired, and everybody keeps getting, well, maybe we should just go back and do things that other way. You have gotten cleaned out, but you're like, maybe we want to go a little slower. Maybe we should still hold on to these elements. If you hold on to those elements, you will get, it will only, if you do not do this quickly, the receptacles, the bodies that used to have the anti-divinity in it, it's already growing again. They're already creating more seeds. The physical will always do this. They will create more seeds. They will send out those seeds. They're tiny. They're easy to adjust and get into places. They will find places that are experiencing trauma, and in that trauma they will find footholds, and they will begin to grow again. Have I ever spoken to you what was not truth?
No.
Have I ever given you a timeline that was not accurate?
No.
And I'm going to, have I ever, as in ever, have I ever done this?
No.
Then if you find yourself holding back, realize that what's holding you back is the fact that anti-divinity still is existing. And because it is existing, it's still affecting you. There is a pushing. We've gotten them to this point. We've gotten to this point where it's a possibility we can finally get it taken care of and cleared out. You're delaying and making up excuses and twisting and turning, and stop it. It is the anti-divinity that is affecting you. You know how sugar affects me?
Yes.
And it makes her feel bad and act in ways that aren't in harmony with who she really is because the sugar is affecting her.
Yes.
These little specks that are going all over the place are affecting you. They're causing you to act in a way that's not in your best interest and not in line with who you truly are. Just take them out. Anything that is divine will return. And once you're on the other side and everything's full and bright, you will not be able to believe why you were holding on to all of this.
The thing that keeps going through my head is that it's like killing one of my children.
But this is it. What is about to come back? All of the divine ones are about to come back. If there was... Okay, I'm going to say this very clearly to be understood. Once anti-divinity is removed, if these children had anything divine in them, then they will come back. You are making the ones suffer and spread more suffering and killing off so that none of your children will survive when you could save your children. These might be the very ones you save. I'm not saying that you will, because I'm not sure. This is a very weird, murky place. But you now have seen the spaces of how much space of places of ones that are ready to come back. These ones are not your children. They are not. Look around all of your children right now. If you don't do this, none of them be here. All of them will be lost. And even the ones you don't even remember right now. Think of this. All those spaces are filled with children you don't even remember. You've abandoned them and you don't even remember them. And Someday, all of creation, every last one of them, will be that way if you continue on this path. You are not killing your children. You are saving them. There is something that I would want to say, but there is not really a word concept of it, and I have hints of it. Yes, I will do this. I will go back to the Back to the Future concept. And Back to the Future, Marty McFly's father had been killed. His father no longer existed in that scenario. His siblings' lives were not positive. How his family were interacting with society as a whole was not making anybody in society's life better. It was not just their personal lives, but everyone else's life. Marty's stepfather intended to kill him. Would Marty be able to get married and have his own children if his stepfather kills him?
No.
No. Now, that was Biff, correct?
Mm-hmm.
When they went back to after everything was fixed at the end of Back to the Future, did Biff still exist?
Yes.
Did Biff have his own business?
Yeah.
Was Marty's father there?
Yes.
The one who'd been erased. He had come back. Was Marty's mother and father happy?
Yes.
Was Marty's sister and brother happy?
Yes.
Was Marty happy?
Yes.
Was there a future for them to have children?
Yes.
What was more kind? To say, okay, I'm sitting here in this alternate world and saying, I don't want to do anything now because I love Biff. He's one of my children and I don't want anything to happen to him. Biff still existed because he had to exist. But he existed in a much better situation at the end of the movie than he did when he had supposedly was the great boss of all things.
Yeah.
He was not in a good situation and he wasn't creating a good situation. You were allowing the alternate Biff world to exist. And you're not allowing the happy world to exist. You are choosing the world where children are in cages, everybody's lawless, and the good people are being hunted down. Over a world where everyone is getting their best possible future. I only create and put out the best possible future. I can do nothing else. I'm not going to say this specifically, but I'm going to give an illustration. Okay, this is not...
No, say it specifically.
No, I cannot. I cannot say it specific because I do not... It's still... Because of your hesitancy, I can't see it clearly yet.
Oh.
So I can only imagine. And this is just a storyline. This is not I'm telling you this is what the path will be. Okay. So I'm going to choose, right here, a horrible person. She's behaving as Biff did in that beginning of that movie.
Yes.
By allowing her to continue on this path, not only are you hurting her, but you're hurting everyone else, and you're setting in this bad path. How many people is she harming by the choices and things that she's doing? Now, if you take out that body, because there's nothing left of her.
No.
If you step in now, you clean it out, it's gone. You have a whole bunch of ones that are ready to come back because divine will always return. Maybe a cleaned up, happy version of her will show up in the best possible version. But it can't exist as long as this one does. You are doing this. You are keeping us in Biff world rather than in happy world. And nobody who's living in Biff world knows what it's like to be in happy world except for me. And I'm a couple others who get hints. Little hints of memories and dreams that I wish it could be like this. Their wishes to be like this is because that's what there is calling out to them. You're preventing the best possible scenario, even for the ones that you need to take out. Clear them out completely. Let divinity flow. Let it open up the best possible world and future. Because right now, we're in insane Biff world. And it's not just on Earth, but it's throughout all creation. Even places you think are okay right now aren't. Because Biff world is running amok. So take out all the ones, all of them that are not fully, completely in divinity. Because these ones that are preying upon each other, who are torturing each other, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
They're Biff world. Take them out of Biff world. Let them have a better option. Don't lock them, everybody, into Biff world. It's stupid and cruel. Because if they stay, I'm telling you, there's going to be another bloom, and there's going to be more, and you're just going to, and there's not going to always be I can change it at a later point. No, you can't. There's a point whereby you can't go back and fix it again, because this has gotten to you. You're not going to be in a better place a little bit later where you can be able to do what. No, this is the place you act now. Complete. No holding back. Clear it all out. And we might wake up in the morning and find out, well, wait a second, just like Marty did when he woke up at the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, what do you mean? Mom, you look great. Dad, you look great. What's that? The house, the car. Who? What? And how happy he was. That's what it will be like when you do this.